That is some weird, wild stuff. That is funny. I did not know that would be so funny.
Yes! Hey guys, this is Dr. Adam Martin, and you are listening to the Fit Pharmacist Podcast, part of the PharmacyPodcast Network. What is the Fit Pharmacist? Is it a person, a place? No. It is a movement in the profession of pharmacy and healthcare beyond to be better. The core belief is this: if we are functioning at our 100%, we can then give more to those we serve, our patients, our friends, and our family. Giving is a core value of being a fit pharmacist or being the top of your game, whether you work in healthcare or serving anyone in any capacity, as well as making an impact with those we serve. Today, I have a very special topic I want to talk about with two very special guests, two Wonder Women on a mission to help take two problems in not only the Pittsburgh area, but our community as Americans, taking those two problems and using each as a solution for the other. Those two issues being food waste and hunger in our community. Real brief, I want to introduce you guys to these two amazing women. First, we have Terri Hammond, a curious problem solver and system builder. Her experiences in publishing, education, retail marketing, hospitality, and now business coaching have carried the theme of continuous improvement. At TheFitPharmacist Business Development, Terri works with both for-profit and non-profit organizations to improve their systems and deliver great results. In May of 2017, Terri was elected to the board of directors of 412 Food Rescue, a Pittsburgh-based nonprofit committed to reducing hunger while also reducing food waste. Also, we have Becca Suffering, who is committed to pursuing vibrant justice and creating positive, sustainable, and equitable change in Pittsburgh and beyond. After studying international relations and cultural geography at Ohio Wesleyan University, she came back to the Burgh in 2014 to spend 2 years as an Education Justice Fellow and team leader with Repair the World Pittsburgh. Since joining the 412 Food Rescue team in September of 2016, Becca has managed the organization's digital presence, marketing, and engagement. She encourages you to like 412 Food Rescue on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Ladies, thank you so much for your time and for being here on the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so much. We're excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. I'm really excited to talk more about 412 Food Rescue and how each of us as individuals can join this movement to impact our community. So I guess first, if we wanted to start off by talking about what is 412 Food Rescue, can you tell us a little bit about the mission and how exactly it works?
Sure. So 412 Food Rescue is a rapid response food recovery nonprofit, which means that we ultimately pick up food that grocery stores, food retailers, distributors are throwing away, and we want to redirect that in the Pittsburgh community that serve people who are experiencing food insecurity. And so with that, we believe that good food, good, healthy, viable food does not belong in the landfill, where it typically goes. About half of what we produce is thrown in garbage. Wow. And so the mission of 412 Food Rescue is to combat food waste and solve the problem of hunger that affects so many people in Pittsburgh and beyond. And so we have developed as a globalizing interested food rescue heroes, we call them, who pick up this food with their car or actually that they then take to a nonprofit that we have partnered with to free.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow. That's really awesome. So you're not looking at food scraps. You're talking about really good, healthy, high quality food and using people's resources that they already have to leverage that excess potential food waste and redirect it to the people that need it.
Yes. And it's, as you're kind of pointing out here, for example, there was where you're an entire flat of oranges or crates of tomatoes or lettuce. It's perfectly good food, And that's food that is in more of a raw. Additionally, sometimes our donors have prepared foods. Maybe there's an event or like at a convention center or something like that, where all the food is ready to eat. And if it's not all consumed on the premises or at the event, it would otherwise go to waste. So there are we are able to food that's in a more raw, unprocessed state. Other times it's all the way to prepare food that's ready to eat right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
as well as I want to point out that I just wanted to say that our food donors that are, that send out so much food in one day to different retailers, they of course don't want to be tossing food. Where we come in is sort of helping businesses rethink food and the distribution process. Ultimately, it's a logistics challenge that we're addressing. And so that's where we are able to send people who volunteer their time and energy and effort to that food to a place that can use it so it's not wasted.
Wow, that's just fantastic. How long has 412 Food Rescue been going on for? Is this a recent group that started, or is this growing, gaining momentum? Where is that whole platform looking at?
So the quick answers are yes and yes. 412 Food Rescue was 3 years old. We started in 2015. We're in our third year. And we have just have completed 3 million pounds of food recovered in that time. Wow. And that is primarily in Allegheny County, which is the county that surrounds the city of Pittsburgh. In September 2017, we did expand our reach to the counties surrounding Allegheny County. So we've moved beyond just the 412 area code, and that's where 412 comes from. It's the area code in Pittsburgh. But it's a relatively short time and millions of pounds of food. And I will say the other really interesting, I would say almost a shocking thing about that, it took something like 13 months to collect and rescue that first million pounds. It took to rescue the second million pounds, and it took only 6 months to rescue the third million pounds. So we continue to have generous donors and volunteers who are ready to mobilize, and nonprofit partners who are ready to distribute that food. So it's growing, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, that 3 million pounds equates to about 2.5 million meals.
Wow.
And around $1 million, $7.4 million prevented from being thrown away.
Wow.
So those are some of our bigger numbers.
Wow. So clearly there's a huge growth, and you guys are really gaining momentum. And I hope to see that continue so we can make more impact in surrounding communities. And how that, in my view, from what I'm hearing, the way to make that happen is for people to get involved. So being that it pivots on people's already existing resources of having, a car and just driving to nearby places, how exactly, if there's a listener or viewer here that wants to get involved, they're in the Pittsburgh area, how would someone get involved, and are there any requirements for them to be a participant in 412 Food Rescue?
Well, the great news is it's very easy, and the behind how 412 Food Rescue would work is that if we are going to engage volunteers, we want to make it as easy as possible so that they can get maximum for the work that they do. 412 Food Rescue's food recovery, we have an app. It's called this is my symbol for app. It's called Food Rescue Hero. You can download the app on your phone, and when a donor indicates that there is a delivery available, you can have your notification may tell you, if you have it set to show you notifications, there's a delivery available at such and such grocery store, and it needs to be delivered to, and it will tell you such and such nonprofit partner. It'll tell you how many miles apart they are. When you get that notification, you say, or maybe I can't do this one right now. I'm at work, or it's not a good time for me. But if it's good for you, you say, accept rescue. I'm going to take it. Mentioned, yes, you can use your car, But we have folks that do rescues on foot because they're a relative distance. We have people that do rescues by bicycle. And we've also partnered with Zipcar within the city of Pittsburgh. You can use a Zipcar for an acti-ride bike for free if you don't have a car. So a car's not even a requirement, actually. It's a way, but then you take food from point A to point B, there actually are a few options there.
We also have Terri, food rescues that come up on your app and things that are sort of one-off or ad hoc basis. But we also have regular that we have rescue opportunities that happen at the same time on the same day each week. So you'll be going to the same food donor and the same nonprofit partner each time. So there's some sort of schedule and regularity with rescue into your schedule.
Wow. So you can really get involved on any level. So even if you don't have a car, you can get a bike that'll be provided to you from your guys' relationship with Zipcar and bike rentals or any capacity. So that's really phenomenal. And it all starts with the app, correct?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So all of this involvement, if someone wants to get involved as a volunteer, it all begins with app.
I'd say that's a great place to start. Get to sort of jump into the essential part of 412 Food Rescue. However, there are other ways. We have often needs for sort of like event presence or other administrative tasks that we need help for. We also have different volunteer opportunities among our we do a program called Hidden Harvest, which sort of takes the food rescuing concept a little further in the city of Pittsburgh, rescuing apples or fruit producing trees that would have just fallen to the ground. And so we're always looking for a group specifically to join us and harvest fruit in the Pittsburgh region. So
it's a crazy question that you never really think about. If the city of Pittsburgh owns an apple tree and the apples fall off the tree or they rot, what happens to them? And they're just wasted. So sometimes these are fruit trees that are owned by municipality, go after the fruit, or they might be owned by an individual who maybe is elderly or someone who's not able to harvest the fruit from their own trees. So, groups in this team building and it's fun and they get up on ladders and they pick pears and apples and whatever else grows here in Pennsylvania.
Sometimes.
So they're pawpaws here.
Pawpaws,
yeah. That's a big deal, pawpaws.
Wow.
So, yeah, all kinds of things that be far beyond just rescuing from like a grocery, et cetera.
Wow, that's fantastic. Just using the resources that we already have, not only, like you said, from grocery stores, but also from just trees that are, owned by people on their property or by the city. So I think that's ingenious and very plentiful. So there's a constant supply. We just need to help you guys and the mission by supplying the volunteers. So with that, how is 412 Food Rescue working to expand its volunteer base so that all of this food, be it from a grocery store or a tree or natural production from property or a municipality, how are you working to expand that volunteer base to create that manpower needed to get the food to the people?
So one of the things that we are focusing on, as Terri said, is, we're for Washington, Westmoreland, Beaver, Butler, and Fayette counties. And so when we talk about community relations in terms of food rescue, that takes sort of three components to fall into place. One is food donor relationship building, which is on our part, and that's what we do. And then there's, aligning that with a nonprofit that is in need of food nearby, keep the distance between the two close. And then the third piece is really having a volunteer base. So we can't really expand people interested in these areas to support the relationships that we're trying to build. And so we're trying to attend community events, as small or as large as they come. We want to be there. We want to spread the word and share the fact always being, and we have a solution to that will sort of solve the logistical problem of reaching people that are hungry. So for spinning communities is really getting the word out there, which we thank you for helping us do.
Yes.
But also to sort of represent 412 Food Rescue and tell their friends and show them how easy the app is. We just updated our app to solve some bugs we had and some inefficiencies, and now it's just so seamless and really fun to use. Another in community sort of community engagement is how special this opportunity to do, and it's easy for anybody with kids or teens, anybody singles, couples, anyone to stress the reachability and ease that this has.
And I would say one other little angle when 412, and that is Pittsburghers, because this is where we're based and where we've started. Pittsburghers have a lot of pride, right? People of Pittsburgh. And it's really funny how often that's tied to, right? It's tied to a lot of things. And sometimes it gets tied to like teams and gets tied to the work ethic, and it gets tied to the way the city was built. And I really try to appeal to people's Pittsburgh pride, that I say, look, years in the making. The problem is many years in the making. And it's having real negative measure, and we're solving it in Pittsburgh. We're solving it here. And if you're going to have some pride in your city, this is a way that you can get involved in a little way, but you can get involved in a solution that is coming right out of Pittsburgh. And I think for some people, that's what gets it for them.
Yes.
It's exciting.
And to go off, I just want to mention a really beautiful thing that happened since we since we started sending food to various housing sites across the city. Before they worked with us, they would receive calls for food at various times. And since they started working with us, they have not received any calls for who are in need of food. And so recently, we've tried to measure our impact in Pittsburgh, and we were able to survey through that.
I did it. I was one of the surveyors. Yeah.
So going back to your question, as a little tangent, volunteers make our run. Like, we would not be here if it weren't for people who are really passionate about helping us do our job in so many different ways. So thank you to everyone. But around 300 people were surveyed, and 100% of the people were satisfied with the food that we are bringing to them, as well as 86% of the people are eating healthier thanks to the food that we deliver, which approximately half of what we rescue is produce. And so that sort of reflects how much of that is actually going into the landfill, which is very sad and scary. Can sort of take that healthy food right to people that don't have access or just can't. That has solved a problem in their life, or the amount of nutrients that they're getting.
Wow. So I think it's so phenomenal, not only this mission, but its quality. It's high quality, and not just food, but high quality people. You guys just talking about it light up like a Christmas tree downtown on Christmas morning. Like, it's phenomenal. And like Terri said, using that Pittsburgh pride, because we are a very strong knit community. There's a Pittsburgh bar in Italy, like right in Rome, a very well-known, they're everywhere. Seriously. So, I mean, you don't even have to go that far, but yes, it's everywhere. So, after the Stiller game, we downtown with the Permanis, you can get your food app, Food Rescue Hero. I have it pulled up right here. I hope you guys can see that. But go down to 412 Food Rescue and help out there with the food. So that's amazing. So it's just awesome, because it's made up of really passionate people that have had great success, and it's all built on relationships, because that's the point of this, is to help people through those relationships, which is just such a phenomenal concept of solving a problem with a problem. It's really ingenious. And I applaud you both and everyone involved with that. So thank you so much for explaining 412 Food Rescue and laying out simply how people can get involved at contributing and volunteering. With all that you've said, is there any other information that you think is important for people to know regarding 412 Food Rescue, or getting involved, or the process, anything at all that you'd like to add?
Or encourage everybody listening to follow us and like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You'll get to see what we represent and what we believe in and what's going on with us, that you can keep up with us. We're here to take in or, any inquiry you might have. We will talk to you. We want to talk to you. If you know of a food donor, a nonprofit partner, volunteers, we want to hear from you. So you can check out our website for a good list of things that we're about. Call us or email us anytime, and we want to talk to you.
And the last thing I would say is just that for those volunteers out there who are wondering if this is the right thing for them, volunteering requires a commitment, and we try to make that commitment work as much as possible as it can for you and have it be fun in the process. I ran into a gentleman at a cocktail party, and he tells me, "Oh my gosh, you're with 412 Food Rescue. I'm about to raise 20,000 pounds this year myself." And I said, "Oh my gosh, how do you know you did 20,000 pounds? Well, I have a spreadsheet that I keep." And you're the kind of person that wants to do it once, thank you, and we appreciate it. If you want to do this with your kids, thank you. If you want to keep track on a spreadsheet, that's great. We appreciate the hours and the time and the effort, and it's in service of, we are excited that people want to be part of it.
That's just so fantastic. Can you guys just real quickly, I'll have show notes below the podcast so that people can click these links. But if you want to just run down what your handles are, so the names for your Twitter account, Instagram account, the app, and so forth, so that people can know exactly where to go to get in contact with you, to get involved, or sing praises about the impact.
You want me to say handle?
Right. So Instagram, like for me, I'm at TheFitPharmacist. Are you at 412 Food Rescue, or where are you guys?
Yes, we are. Yeah. So on Instagram and Twitter, we are at 412 Food Rescue. We also have our Food Rescue, which is represents our offshoot, our sister organization, but we're just expanding, as we mentioned. And then on Facebook as well, it's just 412 Food Rescue, 724 Food Rescue. Type it in and we'll pop right up. We want to have you part of our team.
And the name of the app is Food Rescue Hero.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies, so much for your time, for explaining this, and allowing me to talk with you to get the word out from my side of things in Pittsburgh with pharmacy, healthcare, and people really looking to make a difference. It's really been an absolute pleasure. If you're listening, please get involved. Like Terri said, it's an excellent way to get the kids active, the family together, a great bonding experience. You can do it with your church group. You can do it with your neighbor, your spouse. There's a good date idea. Look at all these bonuses coming up here. So really take the time. Yeah, there's all kind of value. So thank you both so much. Like I said, I will have all the links in the show notes so that you can easily navigate to those resources to get involved. Guys, this is Dr. Adam Martin with The Fit Pharmacist. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much, Rebecca and Terri, for their time, expertise, and commitment to making a difference and serving Pittsburgh, making it less hungry, one click at a time. Thank you.